Is the hype real on the Galaxy Z Fold 8, not the Ultra, just the regular 8 for us normal people? These big hands might tell a whole different story than what you might think.
This is great tech.
What's going on, people? I am MrSsxtrixy, and I am back with another tech review video. And today we're going to be focused on the Galaxy Z Fold 8, not the Ultra, which is the long boy, the nice short stubby boy. And it is a hype chaser. If you see any of the videos out there, there's a ton of them. People particularly talking about this one, how great it is, and if it fits the criteria. I don't know about that, but let's kind of talk some of the features of this phone, right? The battery life is pretty decent. It got a pretty good time. For the most part, it can last 10, 12 hours for the full day, which for most people is pretty good, especially if you're watching videos. The color, I love it. That's a plus for me. I love green, and this pastel green here, or pistachio green, really is hitting. As you see, I don't have the case on it. Again, I'm not a super case fan. Go watch those two short me unboxing it, showing the cases, everything. Again, the aspect ratio for looking at photos, for what I can see, is pretty good. Looking at videos is also really good in a way, and we'll get more into why I say in a way later on. But one of the things I really do love about this phone is it seems really wide. Like, it's way easier to open than our last phone. I don't know why, but for some reason my last flip was so much harder to open than this one. Outside of that, it is a regular standard Galaxy Z Fold 8. It has all the great features, all the like top-notch stuff that really, to my point, really doesn't matter to a real user, because specs don't always matter, because they don't always translate to real world usability. But what I can feel is the crease. And I'm not a fan of talking about the crease, because a crease will definitely be more pronounced the more you use the phone. So talking about the crease now in a lot of people's videos seems really a moot point, because what happens when you have the phone for 2 months and now the crease is really prominent? You can really feel it, see it, because you've been folding the phone a couple hundred times. So in that case, I don't think the crease really makes a huge deal. This is my main phone. I don't have like 15 phones lined up. I am just reviewing the phone that I got that I think really be good for a bigger person or a content watcher like me. Every time I see everybody else's phone, they seem so much taller, and it seems like it's not an issue, but it just throws you off sometimes when you see other people's phone and their phone looks so much taller and yours looks shorter. It can be like an optical illusion in a way. I actually like this front screen a lot. The fact that it's not tall, it's not the one hand usability that I'm referring to. I'm talking about when you go and you look at content like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, anything like that, because it's not a big screen, I feel like I don't get super immersed in watching the short. I might watch one or two, because the screen is not big and I don't want to open it up. I don't want to have to open it up, turn it sideways, just to kind of see a bigger screen. It kind of gets me to go, all right, I'm done scrolling for right now. It has that same flexibility that I feel like the Flip has, right? It kind of discourages you from doom scrolling. In my opinion, this is what I've noticed over the whole week of me having this phone with this whole front screen and not being as tall. I have to say, one of the things I enjoyed that I just didn't see coming was the pocketability of the phone. Man, I can just like slip it, and it's not tall where it feels like if I sat on it, it's gonna bend because I'm sitting on a phone, even though I know it's not gonna bend. But that short, it makes it really more pocketable fold. I think in terms of wide fold, not the flip, the fold phones, this is the most pocketable phone you can have, which is really good if you're somebody with small pockets. If your pants have small pockets or you have a small area, this is way more easier to store than any other folding phone out there, not flips. And I didn't think I would love that, but I adore that part of it. Now, with all that being said, let's get into some stuff it's almost making me feel like I regret buying the phone. And the first thing is the major thing. You have big hands. And while this front screen might be good for that doom scrolling I was telling you about, kind of resist against that, it is terrible for everything else when you have fat and big hands. When I type, I have to be like so careful and direct, because if I type wrong, it's easy for me to hit different buttons with my thumb. So I have to be very precise, which is very annoying. It makes me always go to speak to chat, which is I understand that's a thing you can do. Not saying I don't. I'm telling you the annoying parts of having a big hand with this phone. Everything is a lot easier when this phone is open. When this phone is open, the two-hand ability is perfecto. It is perfecto. But when it is closed, when you have big hands, you cover more ground. So you have to like bend your fingers and everything just to get to a certain point. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 was perfect for me because when it was open, it was kind of easy for me to reach the top. I wasn't like, oh, okay, I wasn't doing all that. For me, particularly, anybody with these hands, that is something that just kind of made me almost want to return this phone. Another thing is the fingerprint reader is great when it's closed. When it is open though, and you have it in vertical mode, let's say you open your phone and you put it in vertical mode automatically before you unlocked it. Depending on if it's this way, or if it's that way, the fingerprint is either at the bottom or it's at the top. And that could be extremely annoying to get used to on a day-to-day basis. One of the other things that kind of grind my gears when I got the phone is the speaker setup. It works perfectly fine. Again, in this folding mode, it's the unfolding that seems like it got we're worried about that when we reach to it. And nobody ever reached to it because it clearly wasn't addressed. By the speakers both being on this side, when you hold it like this ear is getting a lot, it could be a little bit of an annoyance because the speaker setup don't quite work the way you would hope it would, especially for them being where they're at. It's fairly annoying. And the speakers on here, they're speakers on the phone. Don't expect nothing great. All right, with that being said, is all the hype real? Is that hype a good conclusion for the big fella approval? Let's answer the first. The hype is not real. This phone is not necessarily, it's not a downgrade by any standard of choice. And if I had the two to choose, I would definitely choose the Galaxy Z Fold 8. And that has nothing to do with this camera thing that everybody is referencing to. I do not take pictures on my folding phone like that. It's just not something I do. And even when I do, I'm not pixel peeping enough to know like, ooh, that's not taking a quite sharpest photo. I don't think anybody buying this phone to try to be a photographer or to take pictures on their phone to substitute for a camera. I don't think nobody's doing that for this phone. I understand that's the point people are bringing up. I just don't think that's what people are doing when they buy these phones. They're not worried about the camera. I do get the sentiment, you're paying $1,900, which is what this phone costs, and you want this phone to have everything, but in this market, that's just not how it works. I wish it did, because there's a lot of other folding phones out there, like the Oppo, the Motorola, that might be better in the camera department, but Samsung software, their integration with Google is top notch. I had the opportunity to test the Oppo, and from a software perspective, Samsung got it locked down. Their UI, it works very well with the Samsung folding, and I feel like the software experience is almost just as important, if not more important, than the hardware experience itself. Because hardware gimmicks can be covered up with good software. We've seen it time and time again. So in terms of this phone, is this phone worth $1,800? No, because there's no phone that's ever worth $1,800 because they don't cost that much for them to make. And research and development into these phones, it's not like it's, when the Fold 1 came out, research and development price made a lot more sense because it did take a lot to get to that point, to be able to make a phone, to come to production, mass produce, to get software right. Made a lot of sense back then. But these phones are incremental upgrades that Samsung is constantly putting out that don't really require that $1,800 price tag. But that is the pay to play for most folding phones. And if you want one, you have to pay to play. Now, for that second one, is it big fella approved? Yes, but with a caveat. So
is big fella.
With a caveat, because it is big fella approved because of the size when it's unfolded, but it is not big fella approved of the size when it's folded. And from all the internet I've seen, people love it when it's folded. They think it's perfect sync, it's one-handable usable. I'm not saying it's not one-hand usable because clearly as you got a big hand, it is. I'm saying I enjoy using the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 more than I enjoy using the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 cover screen. And that is just my opinion. And I understand some people won't see it that way because they'll have smaller hands or they don't mind the whole tapping to bend your hand or whatever. They don't mind the whole, like, their hand gripping everything. You got to be careful where your hand is at. That's cool. I'm just telling you that from my experience of using folding phones since the Fold 3, because that's how long I've been using them, this is a little annoying. It is something you can get used to. It's not like it's super annoying where you can't get used to it, but it is something I want to bring to your attention. But I absolutely do love these folding phones. They make a huge difference in terms of content consumption. Even reading. I'm not a big reader, but I have been reading on this, especially with like all the elections coming up. I've been reading on my politics stuff and everything like that, and this does make a huge difference, and I have to give it shout outs for that. That is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8. Did you like the video? Did you hate it? If you dislike it, go ahead and leave a comment section below. Tell me why you dislike it. Like, subscribe. Did y'all see that intro? I developed this intro some time ago and I've been trying to tweak it. I know it might not look great, but you tell me what you think about that intro. I think it was great, at least from a perspective of I liked it. I did create it through AI. This was not hand-drawn or anything like that. I want to be completely transparent about that. But I did have fun using the prompts trying to create it. Y'all tell me what y'all think, and I will see y'all in the next one.